Now that the Fear State has been brought to an end, how will it end up shaping Gotham moving forward? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman Fear State Omega issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we join the book, it's about a month in the future. Jonathan Crane the Scarecrow, the architect of the Fear State, kind of, sort of, depending on how you cut it, is being carted off all Hannibal Lecter style to Arkham Asylum for safekeeping. Yeah, I know he got shot and bled out, but apparently he's A-okay now. It's here too, I'm also reminded that Renee Montoya is technically Commissioner of Police right now in Gordon's absence, and honestly I thought that would end up being way more important than it actually was, and it's a little disappointing that it isn't. Naturally, Scarecrow takes this opportunity to monologue for a little bit, saying that he had great plans for the city and for the human condition with Fear State, and all of this proves is that the people of Gotham don't know how to turn back the clock, but they're all too scared to move forward, and now everyone is stuck going nowhere. Wow, if I didn't know any better, I would say Scarecrow is actually talking about the state of Batman comics right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure that is Tynion speaking through him right now. The only difference is Jonathan Crane is going to Arkham and not Substack. On the way too, we see a couple of the SWAT guys talk about what they went through during the Fear State. How one of their grandmothers nailed themselves in their own bathroom and when they came out attacked their father with a hammer. Pretty dark story, am I right? But it also serves as the ultimate illustration of one of my greatest problems with Fear State, and that is we never actually saw how it affected regular everyday Gothamites. Heck, if you only read a couple issues, you could safely assume that regular people weren't involved in Fear State at all. Naturally, any prison convoy in Gotham City is going to come under attack, and this one is no different. Scarecrow says that, like any good scientist, before he used his fear bomb, he was sure to test it on some of the people that Saint had sent to watch after him. Wow, what a cool idea. I thought Scarecrow actually did succeed. He was able to move some people past the Fear State and create a brand new generation of super henchmen who would be loyal to him and him alone. Hell, they could be anywhere in Gotham society and we would have no idea. A whole army of sleeper agents, and Batman defeated and deprogrammed them all off panel. Oh goody. You see, for a second there I thought something interesting was going to come out of Fear State. My bad. Batman vows to take Scarecrow to Arkham himself, and on the way there the two men have themselves a little war of words that serves as a framing device for epilogues on all the other little stories that happened during the Fear State event. First up, there's Miracle Molly. Her testimony served to be everything that the good guys needed to take down the Magistrate and Simon Saint. That's not to say she got off scot-free. She still ended up having to do a little jail time for the robberies earlier on in the arc. Not that she seems to care all that much. Prison seems to be the perfect opportunity to recruit new people into the Unsanity Collective. Batman also surprises the Scarecrow by saying that he's not going to be hunting the Unsanity Collective down. They were a little misguided, but ultimately they weren't evil, and their goals of helping people start over with second chances is admirable. Speaking of second chances, Simon Saint was completely ousted by his own company following the dissolution of the Magistrate program. But like every other rich a-hole in the world, he was able to dodge the worst of his punishment by selling off his company's experimental assets to the powers that be, and it's implied that Saint himself is going to be working off his prison time under Amanda Waller of Task Force X. Though why the Wall would want to recruit someone like Saint who failed at pretty much every single thing they did in this story is beyond me. Then of course there's the matter of Sean Mahoney, the last of the Magistrate's super peacekeeper weapons. Doctors attempted to remove all the dangerous artillery that had been surgically grafted to his body, but surprise, surprise, they didn't wait for Batman to be there, so Peacekeeper 1 ended up escaping. Sean Mahoney says that the Fear State made him strong, and he vows to return to get his revenge on Batman and finally save Gotham once and for all the way that only he knows how. You know what, I'm gonna make a little bet right now, can of Coke, we will probably never see this guy again, or if we do, it won't be for many years later, or if when Tynion starts writing for DC again. In fact, I would say that bet extends to pretty much every new character that Tynion created for this run. I get the sneaking suspicion that DC is going to try and bury all of them out of spite for Tynion going to Substack. We check back in on Poison Ivy, who admits she's feeling more herself than she has in years, and I mean, really, say what you want about this subplot, but Tynion did at least help get Poison Ivy back to the version we all like, and not the weird fractured version that has existed pretty much since the end of Heroes in Crisis. Scarecrow Scarecrow tries to get into Batman's head, saying that this victory isn't as much a win as he thinks it is. Fear State has exposed a lot of the problems with Gotham society, and that there's a whole new generation of heroes out there that Batman has helped along that would probably clash with his old younger sidekicks. Case in point, Clown Hunter, who despite Batman's best intervention is still angry and going out in the night to beat up Joker gang members. He's also still resentful towards Batman, saying that despite all the promises he had made in arcs past, the city still went to hell all over again. Batman admits that this new generation of crime fighters is a lot different than he's used to. They're angrier, they have less faith in authority and institutions, and I mean, really, is it any surprise why? The big difference is, though, is that unlike Scarecrow, Batman isn't afraid of the future. He knows that these people all have good hearts and that they'll ultimately win out in the end. In fact, Batman fully admits that he was never going to be the type of friend or mentor that Clown Hunter needed to help get his life in order, but his good buddy Ghostmaker is. Oh yeah, so get ready for the brand new Buddy series, everyone. Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter coming summer, probably not ever. Before Batman can take Scarecrow to the now fully completed Arkham Tower, he decides to turn this conversation about fear on Crane himself. Scarecrow spent this whole time not shutting up about the fear state and how it can change and evolve people, yet despite his best efforts, it seems that a lot of people in Gotham grew and changed and evolved because, well, that's just kind of how Gotham City is, right? It took Batman a long time to come to that realization, but now he finally has. In fact, it seems that the only person, hero or villain, who didn't change at all was Scarecrow himself. He did the same old tired plot that he always has. But Batman even has hope in the Scarecrow, or specifically, he has hope in Arkham's new head doctor. Are you ready for this, everyone? Chase Meridian. Yeah, freaking Nicole Kidman's character from the movies. And it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody. So that was Fear State Batman Omega issue number 1, and honestly, I thought it was a fallout issue to a series that really didn't need one. Fear State as an event was just so thin and so uninteresting, and even though despite Tynion's best effort to try and explain, no, there actually was stuff going on in the background, it just doesn't work. Again, a shame too, because I really liked the build-up to Fear State. I just thought the event itself kind of dropped the ball in some big ways. Again, none of this is particularly bad, and if you yourself were invested in a bunch of these brand new characters, I'm glad you got some sort of closure before Joshua Williamson ends up taking over. Still, though, I think most of this ended up being a really skippable Batman story, maybe even the most skippable Batman event in a really, really long time. Overall, though, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.